Alright, welcome into Evil Genius. If you don't know what this game is, it recently got a sequel, so maybe the last couple of years. But this is an old game from early 2000s where you basically play as the Bond villain in a base management simulator in an attempt to take over the world. Basically a bundle. So, it's an old favorite of mine. It's a bit of a pinch to get it set up, so we'll hope the recording holds and everything works because I have had a lot of problems. I forgot to even get it set up, and we're down like an hour and a half into trying to get this thing back, and it's finally stable. We're shipping it. So we're just gonna go easy. The game honestly isn't that crazy. You get your pick of 3 different geniuses. You've got Maximilian, who has basically an average circle of influence, on the base with average stat regens. I'll explain that once we actually get in. He tends to research better. I think he's got a few things. His perks aren't necessarily great if you know a couple of exploits, but he's starting to stay a pretty good all-rounder to kind of start off with. Alexis, larger circle of influence, smaller region of stats. She gets a lot more money, I believe, from her ex on the world's domination screen. Then Shen Yu, smallest circle of influence, largest gain. And he makes it so that agents react to him a lot less quickly and with a lot less force. Maximilian is the only one who carries over to the sequel. I tend to like to play Shen Yu. I don't remember who he starts with as his henchman. Each of them starts as a specific, who you can also recruit the henchman as the other geniuses. It's just who do you prefer to start with in that regard. I tend to go Shen Yu just because of the less interference and also the higher boost, even if it's a smaller thing. Bases are fairly cramped, it's not that big a deal. Here we are on the way to our evil lair. We start with Lord King. He's fun. So first things first, we got to get the base started. We got to get things ready to go. We don't even have a base yet. Pause the game. Okay. So we start with just a little bit cut into the island. This is our island that we can dig into. These darker spots you cannot dig into. There are some mods that can remove that if you don't like that. I tend to just leave it on because otherwise there's no real challenge in setting up the base. And then we also have to find... There are some agents who are on their way to deal with us. We don't have anything to deal with them with right now. We can do 5 minions. We can recruit for free. We get a new minion every 60 seconds as a result of that. We can bring the slider up and get them once every second, but it costs us 4,000 per person brought on. They are only ever brought on as these workers, and then you have to slowly train them up through later tiers, which we don't even have unlocked right now. And then you have your henchmen, who are great because they have all these special powers. All of them start with a gather minions ability, and then they get their own specific things. He has psychic terror and smooth operator. It kind of lets him be combat and subterfuge oriented. And you can control your henchmen directly, and your evil genius directly, but you cannot do that with minions. They operate under a tag system. Basically, you tag things for an action. They take the action against the thing. If it's the case of base construction, they'll kind of inherently know that you want that done and they'll go do it. If it's tagging an enemy for elimination or disorientation or something like that, which we'll get into a little bit of that later as we progress, that becomes more of a... I want to build it this way this time. That becomes more of a relevant thing later on down the line. Anyway, so go ahead and progress, build it. We'll build additional rooms. See, there is these guys. You shift, right click, I think. No, tag, control to tag them all. But that tags them for elimination. They'll be killed. They leave behind these body bags, which have a negative sphere of influence. They reduce stats in that area. And then your, for example, Evil Genius improves stats positively. Improves stats positively. What a redundant statement. But anyway, that's the whole point of that. We need a freezer room. That's good enough for now. Because we just need the one freezer rack in there. Build a standard door in there. Build another standard door right there. And we'll unpause that build order. So as you can see, it pops up these little tags that are kind of on like these dog tag chains. I don't know what the proper term is for it. If it's lit up like these two are, it means that they're doing those orders right away. This one's dim. They can't even reach it, so it's not that big a deal. And then we have the strong room. I want to move my strong room. I don't want the doorway right there, but I do want it there. Move our strong room here. That's typically what I like to do, just because it makes things a little bit easier. I like to do a little bit of a strategy here. Which is I'll kill the door here. Yeah, anyway. Until they finish building this. It's a weird interaction. You don't actually get to build things while that space is happening. And then we're not going to build any other objects because we have a briefcase rack right here. Now you can see it fills up the room with the gold bars as well. And the problem therein is you can potentially, if you make too much money too fast, block off the route to the suitcase rack, and then you can't spend the money or deposit money from jobs. It's really more of an issue if you decide to use the cheats, which I'm going to try and do a clean run for this. It's not like it's that big a deal. It's not that hard to run a legitimate run in this game, especially if I'm playing on easy. What else do we need? We need a barracks. Just build a small basic barracks for now.
New room build order confirmed.
Build some bunk beds.
All construction workers are busy at the present time. Object purchase delayed. This object will be purchased when a minion is available for duty.
And then lockers are fun because they build up your maximum population that's available.
This object will be purchased when a minion is available for duty.
They're not available for duty.
Construction unpaused.
So we just do this, and that way this thing is accessible directly in the hallway. Now we would normally not want it so exposed, but I tend to build a only one in, only one out, and it's pretty easy to keep them from even getting past like this initial hallway. Except in the case of like super agents or really heavily armed high tier squads. But we don't have to worry about those just yet. And they'll start building all that. Let's get our evil genius out of the hold. And so yeah, they just kind of, they go, get a briefcase, they go, they bring it over to the depot, they buy the object, or sometimes multiple things are needed to be brought over. And then they'll go bring it to the relevant spots, like he's got this TNT to build up the base. Room here, you know, blast it out. There's some quality of life things that happened in the second game, but we won't even worry about that. I will be playing that next. That will be the next set of videos that happen. And then we want all of those bodies to just be on a single body rack because there is some information you can look at. Oh, that's interesting. You double click on it, it's got different stats. So it's got wear, it's got power, blah, blah, blah.
Rooms can be built in all kinds of shapes. It's good to leave a 2-tile wide entrance to rooms.
Let's see. Objects. Genius. Freezer rack. Heat rating. I guess we're not getting that information yet. Interesting. I could have sworn you got information on the heat rating of the object, but we're not. Okay, yeah. So it's heat 6. It's got all these bodies on it. It's now got some incriminating evidence attached to it, basically. The main thing that you'll want to keep in mind is avoiding having a bunch of high heat objects up front, because those are the kinds of things that like saboteurs want to go after. Agents looking for incriminating evidence will photograph, thieves will take, and the higher the heat, the more like of a problem can be. We want to time it here.
You may have noticed that all people have 5.
Yeah, we're not concerned with tutorials
If you want your
necessarily.
minion, use these buttons to quick.
Might watch some of the videos later just so I can like easier time explaining, because they do it in a pretty the tutorials are pretty solid. There's actually a tutorial you can run through where you set up a small little base, learn how to deal with the world domination screen. There's a tiny bit of story attached to it, but not so significant that I actually care to run it in a recording, because it's like an hour and a half long tutorial.
I think here.
Yeah, so as you can see, what I'm referring to as a sphere of influence, or circle of influence, is this colored orb. You can see it changes colors to indicate that it's increasing different stats. As they run through, they increase their stats. So that's why I'm kind of parking him in like a high traffic corner right now. Because it helps keep these minions up. They have 5 different stats values. They've got health, loyalty, smarts, attention, and endurance. The agents also have those same like 5 stats. Health, obviously, if they lose all their health, they die. Loyalty, they'll desert. You can actually capture them and turn them back to your cause. Smarts, they kind of just stand there scratching their head and awareness, they actually stop paying attention to things and can trigger traps when you eventually get them. And then endurance, they pass out.
Important information will be relayed to you via the message bar and stored.
This little message bar down here. So we've got different events. Agents have been killed. The minions were killed, so we're good. It lets us know that there was fighting, so on and so forth. I would prefer to keep this orientation. Whatever your preference, doesn't have to be this orientation. Fairly good idea to just kind of keep it the same way, though. So those agents got dealt with. Arcane's right there, okay. I was about to be like, who's in my freezer? They're not supposed to be in my freezer. No, that's he's fine. And then henchmen, while we're waiting for stuff to be built, have an additional thing here, a number of lives. They lose lives every time they're killed by a specific enemy that we won't even be encountering for the first... Our name... Oh, that's concerning. A little bugginess. A little bugginess. I'm using an unofficial patch, so that might be part of it. It's fine. Love this game. I wish it got more support since its release, at least since it was modernized and it was picked up by Rebellion. They made a sequel. The sequel is fantastic. Honestly, if you end up just skipping this game for the sequel, I wouldn't blame you. It's great, but it's definitely shown its age, and it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to get working if you're trying to stream it or if you're trying to have a high resolution experience. Granted, running it in higher resolution doesn't change anything about how it looks on the screen. It just changes how it displays on a capture or something like that. So like that's one less step that most people don't even have to worry about. But there's also a bunch of bug fixes that need to be addressed. Otherwise, sometimes the game just will randomly crash on you and stuff like that. And in fact, we had a lot of issues when I was originally streaming this, because this is one of the earliest games I streamed, where it just, I was crashing left and right trying to play this game. I would have issues. I made it like 90% of the way through the game. I just kind of bailed out of the last mission because I was just too frustrated. I love this game to death, but it's hard to enjoy a game when it's doing that to you. So we're gonna close that because we don't want any agents eventually coming along and stealing this. All this gold, once that room is destroyed, will just automatically transfer over here. We don't have the world domination screen yet. Also see different stats. Minions building, minions doing nothing, minions working at a station or something like that. So on and so forth. And like I said, it's right here. It just automatically manages itself as long as you've got a minion of that type or higher. It can be trained, so you have to have the minions of this type, have to have minions of this type trained to those spots, but it can go all the way up. There we go. Should have less of a nasal rattle when I speak now. Do I necessarily need all those? Not right now, no, but actually, let's leave some of those. Let's
All construction workers are busy at the present time. Object purchase delayed. This object will be purchased when a minion is available for duty.
You have your power grid management that you have to worry about as well in this game. So you can see the base, just as a fact of life, will generate 20 power. And objects like doors or these consoles will take up power. which is why I'm trying to be careful about how much of these I use, because I want these, which are more useful. Because eventually I unlock, and I'll be right here, the ability to go out into the world and perform nefarious schemes and deeds to acquire wealth, acquire information, acquire fabulous loot, so on and so forth. And I don't even get a power room until I knock the power out. Okay, so we unlocked the ability to build a topside shack. We unlocked the ability to go out into the world.
You now have access to the world.
We're gonna go out and do some things. These regions have information thresholds. You can see it's the consoles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those consoles need to be fully staffed to get all the information about the region. For now, it's not that big a deal. We don't really care. I just don't remember which regions are the richer ones, but we'll send 5 workers and Kane out over here, and they're just going to be told to steal, which means get me money. Plotting means they'd be looking for new things to work on, and hiding means they're trying to avoid the forces of evil, or forces of good, I should say. We are the forces of evil. Now we can build a power plant. We'll build a corridor down this way.
Backup power drained. All power-consuming objects offline. New room
Build
build
it that way.
Room construction
Then what I will do is build a power plant here. Like so. And then what we want are some power generators.
Object purchase order confirmed. Object has been ordered.
And then what's useful to have, because backup power
Object purchase order
is
Object has
that'll allow access that way, that'll allow access that way. Do that. We'll use that for that. There we go. So we're on no power right now. And I also need to build an armory. We'll just build it all back. Because we need a holding cell. As I believe. Reports indicate that trained civilians are holidaying on the island. Capture and imprison a maid in a security holding cell. The maid, wherever they might be, going to be a pink dot on the mini map, but I'm not seeing them there. They probably haven't arrived on the island fully just yet. They'll probably come in either the helicopter or off the docks here. There's a boat that comes in. And unfortunately, you cannot unbuild a topside shack, so we're just stuck with that thing here. Door security level 3, so no one's going in and out. Yeah, so they're stealing money. We're getting 900 every 60 seconds. Not a whole lot. Workers aren't really good at anything, but they are necessary to keep the base up and running and buy objects and, well, not objects, but to, they're the only ones who do this part of the room building process. And so they're going to be building our holding cell. Ah, there's the pink dot on the map. We want this person to be captured. And they're starting to get ready to blast out the room for the power generation. I don't remember how much each of those power generators produces, but it's pretty good. The thing to keep in mind, and we'll get into that with technicians, is if you are skirting it too close on power generation versus power consumption, the power generators will wear out faster. And potentially explode. He steps away, he does a little blast. And the interesting thing is that can actually damage people.
I think he will walk. All right.
So they've got all that built for us. We've got nothing else really to worry about building. I'm going to at least set up this hallway here. Put it there.
Build order confirmed. Road construction unpaused.
Actually, let's not build it that way. We'll build it just straight down the middle here. And we'll have rooms branching off or hallways branching off as I need it. Right, Kane is not on the island. So the thing to keep in mind is the evil genius is basically useless. They have 100 of every stat, but they take a lot of damage very easily, and they can't really defend themselves. They eventually get bodyguards once you get enough infamy, but the bodyguards I think are one and done. Once they die, they're gone. So yeah, better they die than you, but it is a limited resource, and
Caution. Funds low.
a system of support for your evil genius. Where are they? Just there. So each of those generators gives me 15 apiece. So we'll be good for a bit. We have room to grow into the power generator. Boom. Boom. patch messed up a bunch of the tags, didn't it? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Oh. The resources required, it's the number required to do a job, and then the ones you have in the region tells you how many you've got there. We've got no one here, but we need 2 workers to get that archive. There's just a general active infamy there, which gives you some notoriety, which all of them do. We don't know how much notoriety, we don't know how much heat would draw on us. We don't even know the risk attached to it, or how long it'll take. It's fine, it's fine. So we've got these capacitors. Should I run out of power, it still gives me some time where I can operate the machinery that I have around, and like some of the higher tech stuff doesn't just shut down like a higher tech holding cell would just open up, I think. Even maybe this one does. Which is fun. If you're holding someone and they get out and then they start causing problems for your base right after. He's bringing some money in. Yeah, so he just doubled our current stash. Cool. Yeah, so you can see now they're starting to work these terminals. We've got 3 of them fully staffed. We know that this region makes us 7, but does generate 7, or makes us 9, but does generate 7 heat. So on and so forth. I'm not fully sure what the number relates to, but a lot of these regions are fully understood. Like, I've got the stats on them. So like here, I now know it'll give me 10 heat, but it'll give me 5 notoriety, and it's only a risk 1 that takes 1 minute.
Some characters, like the maid you have just captured, are called hostages.
So we build an interrogation chair.
Object purchase order confirmed.
That'll take us a minute because we've been spending all my money. And we don't know what the region here is producing, but we do know the region next to it produces better money. Or really good money. 9 is the most it can be. So what we're going to do here is reassign them over to there. Unpause. So I generally do pause to scan around the island. Oh yeah, see, like it's 3,600 now. So it's significantly better than what we were doing. And then the colors on the map represent the different factions that are guarding those areas. So, for example, Patriot is guarding Northern America and Japan. Smash guards South America, Antarctica, North Africa, and a large portion of the Middle East. Saber protects Europe, Western Europe. That might actually be... that's Eastern. Yeah, it's the Eastern. India and Australia. Hammer protects Eastern Bloc, Central Russia, and Siberia. And then Anvil, Hammer and Anvil, is basically Asia and Polynesia. Okay, so we got a new objective. The civilian maid could yield the information useful to your men. Interrogate her and train up an advanced minion.
Prisoner interrogation order confirmed.
we don't have a interrogation device, so.
Depot now stocks new objects.
Now we can also produce a hotel, which is theoretically nice, but in practice not very useful in this game. I often just ignore the operation. It doesn't generate money. It often gets attacked by agents of justice, particularly veterans who seem to go into PTSD at the sound or at the sign of a craps table. Um, and yeah, the civilians are kept out of your way, sure, and you generate less heat by just letting them do their thing and not get involved. But unfortunately, the optimum way to play in this game is to literally just be like, no, they all just die, or I'll just get captured, or they get disoriented by my social minions as soon as they can be, and then they're just left in a stupor for a while. But oh yeah, and then the hotel takes up power, plus you have to place it in an area like a topside shack, so like the only spot that's really viable is down here or over here. And then they have to be staffed by your social minions. So you lose manpower out on running the operation. You lose manpower because it can be taken out. You lose energy allotments, so you have to end up having larger energy plants. And you have to spend money to build it up, and it could potentially have all the objects destroyed, and you just have to spend even more money to build all that up. So we're gonna go ahead and run an interrogation on that chair. I need to stop being so tired lately. Part of it is just lack of sleep, I think. I try and do too much in the day and I don't have time to rest. Yeah, so they get them out, they walk them over somewhere.
Goods.
Get them into the device. And they start their interrogation. As you can see, the fact that you know that they're giving knowledge to the character is because these items or these symbols, they're kind of like figments from Psychonauts, in terms of overall like appearance of slightly translucent colored iconography. But it's transferring the knowledge over. This is a lethal interrogation device, so she's dead. That is a doornail. And he now is a valet. Which is good for me, as I need valets for these. We'll just start with a small training room here.
Construction underway.
Build a standard door. Build a school desk in the corner. Build that there. I don't need all these training objects just yet, but that's nice to have.
As well as being a cash candy jar.
Unpause that. Build a security desk. So now we have that option. And what we do is we put security cameras tied to the same tag there, because you could have multiple systems. Yep. There. And we just kind of make ourselves a little bit of a security grid for enemies that would be entering. And then we put security speakers
Object has been ordered. Object
here
order confirmed.
throughout the hall. And I typically don't put them in
Object has been ordered.
rooms that have minions working.
Object
Simply for the fact that
Object has been ordered.
it will interrupt the work they're doing. And if it interrupts the work they're doing, congratulations. Oh, let's cancel that room.
Cancelled.
Build a staff room. Doesn't need to be a terribly large room.
New build order confirmed.
You can put a ping pong table in it, put a drink machine in it, put another ping pong table in it, doors.
Object purchase order confirmed. Room construction.
Then on pause. And then I think this whole section is probably going to be a training room section. Just because while we don't need one that's this big just yet, we will.
Ordered. Object purchase order confirmed. Object has been ordered. Object purchase order confirmed. Room construction unpaused. Intruder tagged for termination.
Cool. There can be only one criminal mastermind. Time to make certain that it's you. Gather all the major criminal players to a conference on your island and explain how it's going to be. Summon the crime lords. Crime lords, just like evil geniuses, are impressed by shows of wealth. You need somewhere suitably ostentatious to hold this gathering of criminal masterminds. Build an inner sanctum and a conference table in preparation for this nefarious delegation. Rumor has it that all of the Indian subcontinent is controlled by one man, Armand Krishna. He has many nefarious plots and intrigues, mostly concerning corruption of local government officials. Track him down and encourage him to come to bend to our way of thinking. Marvin DeLuca is the nefarious mafia don of all North America, and he is a powerful man. But with too much hubris, he must be made to respect true power and authority. There's also the inscrutable Lei Ying Lo, who is the undisputed head of organized crime across China and Southeast Asia. Track him down and send out a party to show him we mean business. There's also no optional objectives just yet. Now our power station's fully built and we have everything we could possibly need there. You can also do something with your evil genius, which is go interact with a tag and say, hey, this is the highest priority thing. I want you to do this first. Because, yeah, why wouldn't you?
Caution. Funds low.
Now, the thing is, this security desk is currently doing me no good. It's not staffed. There's nothing happening with it, so I don't get any benefit from it right now. But as we build up our minion base, which we need to build up our notoriety to have the most effective building of the minion base, let's see. Go ahead and pause. We'll take them out of here, throw them into here, and pause. And then once they hit that, you just hit go. They'll do it. I think it's only like a minute long, but we don't know right now. We're earning less money, but we are earning money still because I set them to steal while they're doing that. And Now he made it more priority, so theoretically they'll do the building sooner, but they might not because of the cost of it. They might actually focus on other things, but it does guarantee we'll do it before we do the staff room. So, the other thing to see here. So, we have a valet. They are a social minion. Anything along this purple line is referred to as a social. I don't remember. I think it's Spin Doctor, Playboy, and Diplomat. Stuff like that. Or, I mean, it doesn't matter which one's where here. But I think that's the minions there. You've got technicians. We don't have a technician yet. They're the science minions. So technicians can do a tiny bit of research, but they're mostly around for repairing things around your base. Then you get scientists, biochemists, and quantum physicists. They handle really only your research. That's all they're good for. You can also send them to a region to research or to increase the scheming and information level in an area and reduce the time a job takes. They reduce the heat a job generates, and they are the military minions here. So you get guard, mercenary, sniper, and martial artists, I think. Guards are basically just your run-of-the-mill tough guys. They get a rifle that they can fight with. Mercenaries can get a fully automatic, like belt-fed weapon. Snipers get a sniper rifle, and martial artists forgo the weapon, but they're insanely tough and good in a hand-to-hand fight. And they make the job less dangerous, so you lose less minions to attrition as you're doing a job. Jobs coming to a close. We'll pull our guys out once they're done with the job for the time being. We want that library just because it helps refresh the smarts on a minion. And we'll need to get a technician. Technicians are great for a lot of reasons, most notably, then you don't have to spend a bunch of money fixing or replacing things when you can just fix them.
Caution, gold reserve low.
I'm aware the gold reserves are low. We haven't really been able to steal a whole lot very quickly. Now I know which one of the American regions is worth a lot of money. It's this one. I think each faction has a region that's worth a lot of money. Like, the Middle East is worth 9 there. I'm pretty sure it's Europe is worth 9. I think it's this. The Central Russia is worth 9, and it might be Southeast Asia. Now, obviously, you're trying to balance like how much heat you're generating. You can see a bunch of minions just died. We don't even get them back.
Bill Donahue with
I
his
think.
finger on also the pulse.
Thanks for that, Bill. The
They
big
failed to
story
steal,
today is
that's
the
why they all
attempted evil
died.
plot. Shut up, Bill. As I was saying, our brave boys from Patriot managed to foil the evil plot and maintain civic order for now.
So for now, they actually feel pretty good about themselves. They...
Intruder alert. Security door bypassed.
Oh,
Kill tag issued. Warning. Hostile presence detected in base.
I think
Intruder tag for termination.
oh, is it actually working without someone working on it?
Kill tag issued.
There you go. These guys are running out, but I think they're running out to do the job I sent them to do on the global. Yeah. We can clear their
Tag
tags.
removed. Warning, high security door breached. Tag cleared. Tag removed.
I think we're just gonna let them do what they're doing. We really just need the money. So everything's kind of a waiting game in this. You tell them to go do stuff and then you just wait for it to happen. So like, you tell them to go onto the world map and go steal some money for you. And you have to wait for their ride to come in. You have to wait for everyone to pile in. Once they're all done piling in and it starts to close up the back end or pull up the plank on the boat, then they finally go out here, get transported over, and it starts coming in. You still have to wait for all of the income to come onto the island, get grabbed, brought over. It's a process. If I say that with disdain, it's really the only part about the game I don't like is how long it takes to wait, and that's why I have often run with cheat codes just to like get some money quickly. I'll still go out and run stealing operations, and you still have to go out and interact with the game to do anything, so there's that.
Security door bypassed.
But I like to take a bunch of the waiting out. So they're getting evidence of that. You can see then they get these little circles around them to say like, yeah, we know you've done something. Now that they know that there's stuff, they're gonna try and look harder.
Warning, high security door breached.
We're just gonna let them take evidence. We're early enough in the game that it's not that big a deal. We have no notoriety. I, in fact, failed at this scheme here. And they've seen enough. They're gonna go. They don't like what I'm doing here.
The forces of justice may send several.
But they're just investigators. They're not saboteurs or
Gold reserve found.
thieves or soldiers, so I don't really have to worry about them doing too much to my base. And that's kind of where we're at right now, is that's all they really are going to send to us. And unfortunately, we're still waiting on this to be built.
Room build order paused.
Because remember, we don't have many minions, and I can't really afford to have them getting taken out in a scrap just yet. We've got 3,600 coming in every 60 seconds. Which is good. Build up that money nice and quick. Hopefully get things built up nice and quick.
Road construction unpaused.
They're gonna be building up my rooms really fast here. I got my cash. And I started this later than I wanted to as well. Ah.
Caution, funds low.
That's fine. We're making money, so we'll get there. Once we have the basics of the spaces set up, I need to have a hallway that goes all the way back here, and then I'm gonna put in like a secret or a inner sanctum way in the back. Yeah, so you saw him get a red flash. He's now hurt a little because he was too close. Now they're going to be getting this, which means they'll be able to get some attention back, I believe. And they get endurance back here. Sometimes I think health as well. Then I need that library so they can get smarts. We're not building any of that stuff. Mess hall's kind of fun. It also helps them regen stuff. There is some redundancy, but there are certain things that, like, typically they only sleep at night, and then the mess hall is for the middle of the day because they go get food for endurance, I believe? Let me double check. Mess hall.
The mess hall, along with the barracks, is where minions go to replenish their endurance stat. The mess hall is generally favored during the daytime, and the barracks at night.
Yeah. Now you also have the thing of, like, there's limited bed space, so only for the bunks it's 2 per. I've got 6, so 12 minions. Right now I've only got 12. Could be resting in here at a time. In the mess hall, it's however many seats. But the mess hall, you also have to staff early on. There are some things that you don't have to staff with, but they're not till probably 25% of the way through the game that you start really getting those. Which is fine. Again, it's all management, resource management, staffing management. You gotta figure out where is the best spot to use all your resources. And then occasionally they'll just drop everything because they're off to do something else. It's probably because we just got enough money to start building the room, so they dropped everything to go start grabbing money to build the room. Or money came in, something like that. But they'll go around, recollect the items and all that for our purposes.
New room build order confirmed. Object has been ordered.
You can technically put them all
Object
up against each other, but since we're also doing things legit and I don't have the modification set up that I'll be getting, you know, a stupid amount of minions right away, which is a thing you can do very easily through modification if you just look up the population modification, max mod editing or max pop editing. It's literally you just go into a document that's created in the save file and then say, yeah, you actually get this many for this many, and you can get a stupid amount of minions. Normally the cap is like 100. There's an unofficial patch that brings up to 150 without having to do any work. You just drop the files into the local install. Like that. And I've got ping pong and drink machine. So we're leaving that paused for now because it's not that big of a deal. The biggest thing right now is I need to get more of those valets in so that I have a stock of valets running. And then I need to run some acts of me so that I can get more variety of minions. Because right now, with my max population 16, I'm really only comfortable going to get maybe technicians or guards, but not both. Because investment into that many minions is just a little rough. A little bit. Still generating 3,200, not too bad. Take it.
Intruder tagged for termination. Intruder detected on security network.
So we're gonna have them do this. It'll interrupt my job a little bit, but really don't want them stupid around too much. Because the more they snoop, the more heat I get, the more of a hassle it does become in the long run. That's why it's technically risky having this up so close to this door. But at the same time, these guys, well, the way I typically set up the security is pretty easy to catch them. The other issue is if you decide to set the thing further back in the base, they walk past so many minions and it is a huge detriment to like loyalty when those body bags pass by them. And you end up with people deserting left and right after a big fight. And that's the big thing that I'm trying to avoid right now. But with this setup is having a huge loss of loyal minions in the long run. Yeah, so this room's for attention. The library, when I can get it, will be for smarts. And that's basically your basics of maintaining your minions' needs. It's a slow start to the game, I will admit.
Construction unpaused.
There's a lot of actually we don't get that room yet.
Hold.
We don't even have the max population available. Let's go for our admission is so resource intensive. They all are, aren't they? Yeah. I mean, I guess technically what I can do is capture them. But not necessarily interrogate them just yet.
Mission underway.
Gets me the infamy, and I can put another holding cell in here, honestly. Ooh.
Object purchase order confirmed. Object
And a
has been
rifle
ordered.
cabinet. Because
Object purchase order
what you can
confirmed.
do is set it to yellow alert. With thanks to one of the patches or to the community patch that I installed, I can turn off the klaxon. I can just leave it in yellow alert. So there's not a whole lot of reason not to just leave it in yellow alert. Red alert, there is reasons to not just sit in it the whole time. Except for very specific spots in the game, which are, they'll be pretty obvious when you're there. So I'll point them out once I'm there, but you'll probably be able to kind of guess at it once we're at that. Because it disrupts everything. They'll drop whatever they're carrying to go fight. They'll just kill on sight. It's useful if you really need to just like focus on fighting in defense of the base, but yellow is great, or is the preferred thing because it encourages them to go pick up a gun at those gun racks, which can support, I think, 10 minions per gun rack. So one gun rack, we're basically set. I just got the guard's gun rack also set down so that it's there when I need it. Now he can start training for me. Go have...
Hola, this is the Smash Force Service. Citizens in all Smash territories are being urged to remain vigilant as the spate of kidnappings continues. Skilled civilians are being spirited away by the evil organizations for an unknown purpose. In an off-the-record comment, one Smash official said that the chances of
rescuing the individuals are slim to none. You can tell I've played this a lot because I kind of remember how the lines go for every single announcement. Plus that one's heard fairly frequently. Depending on who you kidnap from. Then the bodies take longer to disappear when they're in the freezer, but they, again, don't provide the negative effects on stats. And putting them in the freezer room means they are behind a door and harder for the forces of justice to actually get to. So I'm harmless. I think I need to get up to 5 for my first population bump. I need one more worker there for the ability to run the job. Get the technician. Do I have a mouse space available? I do have a mouse space available. $666. My money is 666. No, unfortunately, the minions don't load their weapons with like rubber bullets or a less than lethal option. So you can only ever use them for the kill tag, but generally speaking, that's more than enough. You're never really doing a whole lot with them. You're typically only ever having to capture like one person out of the entire group at a time, and then you're set.
Caution, funds low.
Cannot afford the holding cell. I can't imagine why. Like we just spent all of our 8,000 that we had at most. Okay, we got 5 there now, so let's go ahead and go on that task. And then there's a bunch of other things around that I want to do, like this one, that one, that one. Then I still need to get that library since I've flubbed on it. But we're gonna let them drop on heat over here before I do that. We're gonna go piss off some of the other neighbors first. Yeah, this game's it's a lot slower pace, but it's a sim. Yeah, you build things up, you slowly work things, and you know old tasks that you used to have to wait around for a long period of time tend to get worked through, and yeah, it doesn't take as long, and the process gets to continue. But it really is like start thinking steps ahead, start being like, okay, once this is done, we're gonna go over here, we're gonna do this, and that's done, we go over here to do that. And you know, once I get this up, I'm gonna go and get these things. I get 150, so like for example, there's 13 total things here. Technically, any of these can train any of these and do their job just as well. Except for like technicians, and then these do slightly different things on their non-lethal option, because you can do this tag, weaken, and it psychologically weakens them. Either it targets their loyalty, their smarts, or their attention.
This is an underworld service transmission. The chairman begs his loyal citizens to be on the lookout for suspicious foreigners on Chinese soil. The evil organization...
Keep cutting off the broadcasts. I should let them run out because they are kind of interesting. They definitely show a lot of the like age of the time they came from.
Kill tag issued. Warning, hostile presence detected.
Yeah, see, so they pull out their gun, they start blasting. Unfortunately, the agents will do the same and pull out their gun and start blasting, so that can be kind of nasty at times. And I don't even get an infirmary until I have a minion die, I believe. That's kind of funny. All of our base stuff is built up currently.
Room construction underway.
Blast out that corridor, but we're not going to be able to do it just yet.
Construction
It's going
on
to
course.
take some money saving to do. We're waiting for those guys to ship out. Oh, there they go. Yeah, so they run out to this boat. It's kind of fun. Should have honestly gone to like Nexus mods or mods on this game to like have guaranteed functioning running things.
Gold reserve.
There's a thing that was like a removed asset where you could have a submarine coming over to this dock and they run in and dock on the submarine, but I kind of like the yacht more personally, just because it's nostalgia. That's what I played with a lot. We're just gonna leave these two locked up for a little bit while we run through things and try and get that number up here. The 5, I think, is where I get the next population bump. It's a very small one, but it's there. And then from there, we get to really start having some fun and start diversifying my workforce. And guards, military minions are great because when you send them out and they do stealing, they get more money. So it should take care of this problem a lot more readily, even though I'll only have 5, somewhere between 5 and 10 of them. I can send out a couple with some minions as just like fodder, and they'll do that. Plus, they keep the minions safe, so it's all good. Make the region more safe for my team. Okay, you guys are stealing there. It's not much. It's 1,800, but you're also going to be doing that job, which is the bigger part. And I like how Evil Genius 2 changed a lot of these things. I'm not going to talk about how they changed a lot of those things because that'll give me something to talk about in the early stages of the video for Evil Genius 2. But there are a lot of quality of life changes. They might not necessarily be easy to appreciate unless you've played this game or watched this game played.
Hello, Dennis.
Succeeded.
This is
Okay.
Abdul's Eye in the Sky, reporting on traffic from the top of an elephant. From up here, I can see a tailback ahead caused by a sacred cow in the road. There is also a tailback behind me caused by stress by my elephant. Moving on to news from the subcontinent, the evil mastermind has struck again, despite the best efforts of Sable's colonial forces.
We'll pause that, move these guys out, move them over to here again. Kind of burning through my worker minions right now, but yeah, I've still got 8 on roster. We're training up valets at the same time, so that's part of it. They build up, one every minute, so it's not that big a deal. And it's a real-time minute, so like everything is measured in real time. So not that big deal. I can't afford to bump it up, unfortunately. Even if I did bump it up, it wouldn't give me anything. So this is how we run it for now. We're getting more money. I think that's a money briefcase we're waiting on. Maybe that's for building. That's a burglar. We don't like burglars. They steal things. Typically money, sometimes loot. Loot is not what you want stolen. Slowly accruing cash while we wait, and then we're getting our... Oh, we're only 2 workers down. We'll have to be 3. Probably 2 by the time he finishes still. So. More investigators who just drum up heat. They can be kind of nasty. And if you ever create a... Do not ever think about like, oh, I'm just going to put my evil genius in an area and then block off the area so no one can get to him. If you do that, they do something that allows them to jump into the space. I don't want to really spend the time to try and figure out how I can demo it because it can be a problem. But the big thing is they'll like take out the zipper, put it on the ground, open the zipper, jump in, and then they'll like pop out of a zipper somewhere else. Those kinds of things. And it's I saw it happen once, and it was funny the first time, and then annoying that it could happen because I kept seeing it happen. Particularly if the gold gets placed a little weird in this room and it creates like this corner, for example, is inaccessible to anyone. They will jump in there, and if it's a burglar, they will steal the gold. So we finally had a minion die. We now get the infirmary, which I'll probably place right here. And that's how you get them to top off their HP in an effectively, or in a timely, effective manner. You did. You prick. Okay, well, he's gonna bail out regardless. You go. Oh, I am now marked as harmless. So, typically what I'll do if I know I'm gonna bring everyone back fully is I'll do that.
Minion capacity exceeded.
There's 16 workers for now because I need the bodies. It's gonna be a slow trickle anyway. I don't want to say regardless again because like, I hate being repetitive in speech. I got a vocabulary, I need to use it.
Your minions are sycophantic lackeys that will work until their statistics are reduced to 0, at which point they may fall unconscious or become stupefied. If you want to keep them working efficiently, you can build many different objects that allow the minions to replenish their statistics. Remember though, you can only replenish your minions' loyalty by letting them watch interrogation, placing loot, or by using your circle of influence. On the other hand, you could simply
Yeah, you can see how much bigger his circle is. Like, he's in a room that's probably like this big and filling it, and I would only fill like half of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So. I got 7 of you guys. Go ahead and start the interrogation. Yeah, so it's important to have interrogation devices that actually like allow them placed around places and that are publicly viewable, like this mixing stand here. so that you can improve loyalty to your organization. We're gonna sit back on the island once we get this and let things kind of build up and blow over. So we'll do probably 6 workers, 5 guards, 5 technicians, 5 valets for now. It's not super ideal, but again, the higher up they go, the more effective they are at doing certain things. So I can go out and steal more money with only 2 or 3 guards pretty quickly, while still having the workers back at base doing work. So it's not going to be that terrible of a fate to be dealing with. Plus, I can then start doing some more of those acts of infamy, get population built up, as right now we're at 21. And I think the next tick happens at 10. We're already at 7, and this is probably going to put us up to 8, or probably only to 8, maybe 9. Unlikely anything more than that. But we don't know because we don't have the people to work those stations yet. We can do 1 down to 11, up to 5. And the hallway's being blasted out, so we'll be able to just start building rooms coming off of here. I'll probably put my sanctum here, on this side. I want a nice big room for a research center, and another big section for a power grid.
New room build order confirmed.
We can do the conference table. Is quite big.
This is Pacific FM, and I'm Larry Driscoll, keeping you up to date with regional events from California all the way up to Alaska. The story on everyone's lips today is the big felony committed earlier. No one knows who's responsible yet, but everyone's got a theory. Isn't that right, Bill?
Haha, yeah. Even the penguins in Alaska got a theory, Larry.
Penguins are from the South Pole, Bill.
Damn it, Larry. Why do you always show me up on air?
One more. Up here.
New room build order confirmed.
Build the conference table.
Object
Build
purchase
it there.
order confirmed.
Build my impressive desk there. Build some standard doors here.
Ordered.
There we go.
Room construction unpaused. Caution, gold reserves low.
Yeah, that is the issue right now, isn't it? Oh, how much did I go up? Yeah, I only went up 1. I'm going to let this continue to run for a second. I personally need to run to the bathroom. I don't necessarily want to pause the video, so we'll just leave it here. Now things kind of being watched. You got some high traffic area, so it should be something going on at all times.
Caution, cannot accommodate this many minions.
Ordinarily, I wouldn't leave a break like that in, but honestly, I don't mind for this one time, at least, because it's a process. See, they kind of just tinker around with chemicals here, and they're kicking the body bag, doing coaching. Like, because the technician just leaves him to tinker. He's just drinking random things. It's giving off fumes, dude. You're gonna die. You're just mixing random stuff together. Yeah, so now we're up to 3 guards. We're about to get 4. We're about to be at 3 technicians, and we're keeping pace in terms of the number of workers because we haven't needed any. We'll need 3 more workers recruited before we're fully staffed up again. But that's not that big of an issue. This job over here needs 4 workers. And then we've got this job over here needs 2.
Caution, gold reserve low.
So if I want to be super even about the amount of minions I assign to each type, based on the end game maximum I'll have, I'm looking at 10 per-ish. But there are missions that require like 15 of a certain type of minion. We'll see how that goes. Think. We don't check something. 6. Yeah, it's 13 of them. Yeah, it's weird math to figure out. But so we're maxed out on guards. We've got our last technician training. So we're getting ready to kind of start doing other things for the main mission again. Notoriety 5, that's a good one. Typically, yeah, they're like notoriety 5. Oh, that's only 30 seconds. do that.
Caution! Time's low! Kill tag issued.
I was kind of waiting for them to be in an area where either it was particularly dangerous or I was going to be able to guarantee minions would respond to the tag. They've left the, or they've been unassociated with the island, I suppose. Kind of. That job's about to start. That was 30 seconds, right? And cool thing is, like I said, technicians and any other science minions, and the effect becomes more pronounced with the higher tier they are. That's 30 seconds. Or not. As this plank comes up, they get sent over here. I spent a lot of time figuring out the timing on things,
Caution! Gold reserves low.
just so I would know when to like go check on a mission. Yeah, it takes 3 seconds off of it, not significant. We're also getting only 550 currently. But he's good at stealing money, excellent at scheming in an area to find acts of FP. Like they're terrible good for the guards. So they're good at fighting, fair at stealing money, and terrible at that. Burns accident of infamy, boosts the information level in the region. They're terrible, fair. Takes allies in battle. Takes allies in battle and boosts information level.
I've got an exciting program lined up for you today. First a few hymns and a bit of a pray, then we'll see if the Nakat tribe managed to give up headhunting for Lent. I've also heard that some evil men have recently been causing mischief in these parts, so make sure you take a good book with you at all times.
Do that. We'll probably leave the workers at 10 unless I seriously need the extra numbers. And let's go ahead and let things. That'll bring me up to 8. I think that'll increment my capacity again. Like every 5 up to 100 you get something. Typically, I think. Maybe 200. It starts to space out a little more. But
Caution! Funds low.
I'd have to look at the numbers again. Cannot afford the impressive desk. Well, no shit. Don't really have any money to speak of. That's a poorer region that job is in, but... Huh. Maybe that's the 9? I could have sworn every... Yeah, so they've got 9 there, they've got 9 there, they've got 9 there. I'm pretty sure it's this one then. Every faction should have some insanely high cash drum or cash cow area that you can use. We need to build this. That will be good to go. On that step, and then I think a lot of stuff starts opening up for me. Okay. Thankfully, these minions don't take very long to train up. Yeah, you get one of these guys for free every 60 seconds, so it's not a big deal. Also, trying a whole bunch of money. There's a bunch of workers over there. Either you, you, either you. They'll show up, they'll start stealing, I'll run the job, and then anyone who survives, I'll send to a different region that's not a technician. Technicians will send back, and they'll just keep stealing from an area for a while until a decent amount of cash while we rebuild our minion population as well. We're gonna lose some on the job. It happens. There's no real avoiding it. You can stack as much as you want. Very rarely do you not lose anything at the completion of a job. Yeah, we're getting 4,200 every 60 seconds at least.
Good morning.
Yeah, so you can see a couple got knocked over.
Across all of Northern Africa. Our big story is the shocking raid that took place earlier today. The identity of those responsible is still not known, but Smash is reported to have several leads they are investigating.
6,000 every 60 seconds, so we're looking at roughly 600 every 10, I think it is. No. 1,000 every 10. Yeah. We're doing 100 per second.
Caution, funds low.
That should get us through building what we need to build. At least for a little bit. Greater pop cap? No. So it does slow down in how frequently they give it to you. I probably need to hit over 20. And probably over 30. Probably once I hit 50, it starts slowing down even further. I think we're getting pretty close. Yeah, it looks like they're going to be building those. Once those are built, we'll have that objective done. Or that sub-objective done. And then I'm going to call this video at that spot. We've made good progress. We don't have any optional objectives yet. We'll get there. I think this is all we'll need for the training room. I'm never going to have large numbers of each type of minion. Because I'm doing this standard way. Sometimes I've done like a 300 pop cap or a 500 pop cap. That one gets stupid because you need to keep some mini minions off the island just for things to function on the island. So yeah. And then in the next one, we'll start gathering some of these crime lords and building up the base a bit. Yeah, we're unfortunately or fortunately in a section that is very much going to be a crawl through the progression. But it's I really do. Oh, for death.
Intruder detected on security network.
Like how they actually like press themselves against the wall and stuff like that. You were already up to 10,000. Before too long, we'll be up to 1,000,000. And that's kind of what I want to shoot for before I start spending a crazy amount of money again. Because you saw how quickly 250,000, which is what we started with, went. Soldiers, not a fan of soldiers. If possible, we'd really like for them to just not get into the... Okay.
Kill tag issued. Intruder tagged for termination. Warning, hostile presence detected in base.
So the soldiers are basically like your military minions, like the guards. They're better at fighting than everyone else. Maybe the veterans. There are also certain minions that start, or certain forces of justice that get secondary jobs. Soldiers are sent to attack your base in numbers. These military trained agents attack in squads of between 1 and 8. They are not only trained to target your minions, but also destroy vital parts of your base. Once a soldier's heat level has risen, they will have got a taste for battle and will go on an all-out assault, killing minions and destroying objects indiscriminately. That's why I don't like them. Ah, he's just gonna get away. And the desk is already bought. We're just waiting for it to be brought in. Oh, did I finish that objective? I did finish that objective. Okay. Go ahead and move the genius back there. And I'm not going to wait for him to get there. Well, we've got a few minutes left in the video. I don't mind waiting things out, letting things get fully finished up.
Henchmen are the most powerful
Intruder alert. Security door bypassed. Kill tag issued. Intruder detected on security network. Intruder tagged for termination.
Saboteurs and infiltrators are specialists at destroying and disabling elements and objects in your evil lair. They are sent in to specifically target objects that pose a threat in your base. If many agents have been beaten by a nefarious trap system, then you'll undoubtedly find yourself under attack by these specialist agents of justice. can go there, one goes there, and she's stuck in there, but let's see how that goes. You can get bodies doubled up if they land on top of each other from a fight or something, but she's probably not going to end up in that situation. Yeah, she's going to fill that square there. Oh, oh, maybe we got lucky. Cool. Yeah, he's moving it in. We're good. Oh, and a square freed up here. Cool. So let's go ahead and save manually here. It auto-saves after you complete each objective, and then it auto-saves regularly here. So I'm going to go ahead and call this one a video. Thank you for joining me. I hope you are enjoying this so far, or at the very least it's interesting to you. It does start to pick up once we get things a little more established and start getting a routine of going out and doing very nefarious things. So, take care of yourself. Remember, be excellent. Be excellent to each other. Be excellent to yourselves. I'll see you around.